Everybody loves a disclaimer. Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more Football Manager 2022 with Charlotte Football Club dressing the part today. It's more just because I just got off of work, but it's fine. We're going to be having some fun here. Right now, the season is not starting yet. As I said before, I did want to focus on some friendlies, so we are going to take a look at them just to kind of see how the game develops. So first is going to be against the Charlotte Independents. And our team is shaping up to be quite a bit of a team, although we do have some injuries that we're dealing with still. Sergio Ruiz has some food poisoning, or not some food poisoning, that's Fuchs that has food poisoning. And Ruiz is still recovering from his long-standing broken legs, so that's going to be very exciting. But you can see we have some new faces in new places. A lot of people stacked up. I'm going to go a little bit over some of the key signings and transfers, but oh wow, there's my throat again. But one thing I do want to mention here real quick is that we don't have a ton of depth right now at the striker position. One thing I've run into is that a lot of players that I've attempted to sign have been like, "Oh, by the way, your team sucks. I want to sign with a better team." So we've kind of had to make do with what we have. And I mean, Mr. Robinson is certainly somebody that I think can fulfill this role very well. But I have had one of the nice things about MLS is that you can afford to be patient. So what's going on with the striker position is that one of the players my scouts had found and targeted was Ake Loba, who is a free agent, but because of MLS rules and everything, his rights are currently being held by Nashville. Now, he looks good. He's a strong pressing forward. There's maybe other roles that he can play as well, but he's got stats. He's got good stuff. The scouting report on him is very good and says that he has a lot of potential. So young, good striker. You want that. But you have to negotiate with the other team if they hold the rights to make the trade. It's a little annoying, and one of the reasons I tend to go for a lot of international players where you don't have to do that. But Nashville offered me a bunch of general allocation money, $1.5 million. So pretty much what they're trying to do is to buy my first-round draft pick next time. And then also want me to throw in a third-round draft pick. So essentially, this is a third-round draft pick for a very good striker and selling my super draft capital, which, as I said in the last episode, the draft can give you some good depth players over time, but I'm not looking to build my squad. So this is exactly the kind of use of assets that I'm looking for. So we're going to go ahead and see how that goes. I have put in a contract offer for him, I believe. But yeah, I've been rejected by so many people. We have a few people off contract that are going as well. But if I guess probably the best way to do it is here. For the players that we have been able to get to us, maybe some of the more key ones here are first off, Jesus Maramon, who is a central midfielder. Might end up playing him as a deep-lying playmaker in the midfield. That's not a bad position for what I want to do in the offense, although I kind of prefer a box-to-box midfielder there. But I'd rather people play to his strengths, and it doesn't seem like ball-winning or box-to-box is really part of his strengths, although he doesn't look like he's bad at it. But he's another potential player. And I have a cat that is just very angry in the background. So we'll see how that goes. Another sort of long-term signing here is Diogo, who I don't like spending international slots to stash a goalkeeper who's 18 and may not ever get his reach his potential here. But for now, he's depth. And more importantly, my goal is to possibly sell him later. So that's part of the goal here. Then we have our 3 draft picks. You see that they are picked from some of the other teams here. And then otherwise, we've kind of struck out on most of our attempts at signing or trading. So we'll I also did end up picking up Will Pulisic just as another depth option, although I may not end up keeping him. I put him on a short contract. And then we also have a few right wingers as well. Michael Berrigan, who is U.S. born, so at least we have that nationality bonus here, as well as Kyle Duncan, who may be going ahead and slotting into the right-hand side and staying there for a while. Now, I did get another player in the drafts yesterday who's very good. But Duncan has a lot of potential, and you love to see it. And then if we look at the reports as well, coach report now, because he's here, he's poor in the air. He may have some problems adapting to the squad, but you can see he does rank better than our other people in terms of potential, and he has a lot of positives going for him. So that's nice. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, we're going to pop into a few friendlies, just kind of see how the team works here. First one we're going to do is versus the Independents, because this is the first time I've seen this team work together. So it's going to be a more in for Fuchs. And then Kessler and Conjo, I actually wanted to have them the other way, but my assistant manager was like, no, we'll do it like this. So Laud, Morris, and Robinson in the front, Marimon, Bronico, and Anunga. I got to get used to saying that second N in there. And then Blackman in the back. Man, I hope you don't get injured, because Diogo's not ready, and Pulisic is more of a, oh God, I need to get a goalie, and all my other options to try to sign a backup said no. So let's submit team and see what we can get. Obviously, our players are like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're not entirely familiar with this yet, but we've only been practicing one tactic so far. So our assistants are asking for us to do things here. We're going to try to, as I do in a lot of friendlies, not have too many people play all the time, but I just want to go ahead. We're going to follow the assistant recommendation here. Our players are complacent. They're probably going to stay complacent, but because of my motivational bonuses, we can maybe get a few of them to think about what they're doing here. But the main goal here is to get some match experience under the players' belt, to get them in shape, get their fitness going. The Charlotte Independents actually do not play in Bank of America Stadium. I think, no, they built a new stadium in Matthews. For a while, they were playing at what's called not Independence Arena, that's the hockey stadium. Oh man, this is way too slow. I always forget to do this. I'm going to keep it on TV for now. Let me know in the comments if you want to have it maybe somewhere a little bit different. I kind of like having, yeah, that's a little bit more of what I'm familiar with. More importantly, we are going to be doing extended highlights. I could go to key highlights, but sometimes that makes games really short. And I like having things go a little bit faster. So if you're used to watching Football Manager at normal speed, you may be like, wow, this looks like a big ping pong match. Sorry, this is just how I've always played. It's just, and maybe this is me not watching soccer very much in the past, but if I'm playing a game and it doesn't have to be slow, it doesn't have to be slow anyway. Here's our team trying to sort things out, and there's already a foul here. I think one instruction that I wanted to do here that I didn't actually do, and this sucks because I haven't been practicing it here, is that I like the shorter passes, but I want to go higher tempo. So I think we're going to play normal width. I thought I changed all these at the end. Maybe it was way too late at night and I missed it. But we're going to counter press. I don't mind the high line of engagement right now. And we're going to try to get some faster passing going here. So there's Bronico. You miss Fuchs at the kick there. And Morris, Jordan Morris, the man with no knees. Actually, I don't know if it was the same knee that he tore or two different ones, but you'd hate to have him injured here. But still, the hard part about Football Manager this year, one of them is injury management. You got to play your players some, but you don't want to play them too hard, too much. And the game gives you a lot of ways to tell you if you're playing somebody too much. There we go. That's a great move out to Robinson, who sails it wide over, which, like I said, we have 3 shots to their none. We have XG, or expected goals, which is something that I did not have the last time I was playing Football Manager. So typically, as long as your expected goals are higher than your opponent's expected goals, you should be winning most of your matches. There's Morrison, who's taking it out wide. Please make a good cross. That's a good cross if it's not outside. So Robbie Robinson, as we don't have match sounds, we do have match sounds. I usually don't play with match sounds. They are off. So that's good. You just get to hear me look at this and say, look, here's someone who passes to somebody. Robinson gets in front of everybody. My cat's destroying things in the background because that's what kitties do. But the Charlotte Independents is losing to the Charlotte Football Club. Who knows who is who? They're playing for superiority, I guess. And there's Serrano making a spicy move out to the right. I had to say it. I'm very sorry. You'll get a lot of dad jokes here. Armour will protect this house, move back to Blackman, who moves to Kessler, and then I just feel like we're not doing anything there. So here's another thing about Football Manager. It throws a bunch of data at you. Like I said, spreadsheet simulator. Playing for set pieces. I actually have not set up my set piece tactics yet. I don't know if it's changed very much in 2 years. I kind of have a go-to that I like to do. I did the same with training, and we'll see if that busts my butt pretty well. But we're up 1-0, which this is a training match, so anything we do is fine. Wow, Robbie again. Maybe I don't need to sign another striker, but because he also has good potential. But that's let's see if that was a header. Well, we'll have to see how he does. Like I said, I thought he was very promising enough to take in the expansion draft. You love to be up 2-0, and we have 4 shots on target. Considering we have no sharpness, this is going pretty well. So we have our happy little graphs. We have all kinds of other analysis that we can potentially go for here, but we'll go to the dressing room. We get to talk to everybody. We can pump fist and say, this is why I go through preseason. Yeah, buddy. All right, so pep talk complete. And now what we're going to do, we could have done this before, but and maybe the game's changed, but I really like to let everybody get the credit for the halftime talk, and then we make subs. So substitutions, we are going to put Diogo out there, and I have my people organized a certain way. So it's going to be Duncan, and here's where more of our depth is. I try, especially with how crowded, and I'll put the tactics out here so it's easier to see who's coming on. With how crowded everything ends up getting in Football Manager, as we have Berrigan that we can throw in as well. Especially with as crowded as the schedule gets in MLS, especially when the U.S. Cup matches start going on, we really need to kind of have 2 lines worth of squad and rotate players in and out, especially some of my more injury-prone or injury history players like Fisher, who's coming off the bench. But still, it's important to have a sub like that can do that. Okay, so we have striker. Who can we put in? Oh, I can't see that during the game. Weird. Okay, let's try you. That's 1.5 stars. It'll do. I mean, this is just a training match at this point. So we have 3 people in here. You can both be defensive midfielder. That's really not great. I'll need to figure out during the match how that works, or I'll get familiar with these player names eventually. So Depu up here. That's not how it's pronounced. Lagrasa. I guess we could put Lagrasa there. I mean, we could put De Jong over there too. Or De Jong. Not sure how it's going to be pronounced, but let's see. Lagrasa, De Jong, they don't really like those very much, but they like those even less. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be fine. You guys are here for depth, and then we'll bring on Berrigan at some point as well, especially because my right back, well, he's fully fit, but there was an injury concern earlier. So we're going to give pep talk. That's how this game works. And we're going to say, show me why I deserve to be on the team. And you see, we get a few people. De Jong's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. So now we have a squad that's a little bit more even with the independents. And we have substitution. All right. So you get little updates as things go around. Now we have our subs in here. This is not a done roster. There's still plenty of people that I'm trying to sign, trying to put into everything. Friedel moves into De Jong, who actually almost gets the shot, kind of doing the good advanced playmaker, moving up into the middle of the formation as everybody moves up. Usually I try to do that with like a shadow striker or something when I do an attacking midfielder. But we're doing a little bit of a different strategy, kind of doing a throwback to wow, we're getting pretty good on the set pieces here. I actually forgot to assign a kicker, so the AI is doing it for me. That's fine. That just means I get to pick whoever. So Lagrasa to everybody. Wow. Oh, that was so close. I mean, he didn't hit it, and he's 1.5 stars, but you love to see the effort and the movement around here, even with training camp just having ended for my team. They're making it work. And so we have all of our little details down in the bottom right, and that's where I have my little camera up here instead of jammed down in the corner. So there is a few UI elements that are missing, but that's That's the nature of the beast. I don't know what animals are doing over there, but they're probably about to break stuff, so that's fun. Oberton, on the other hand, is going to use this distraction to move it up to Para. Oh my god, that was terrible movement by whoever. That was Sabansky. Oh man. You're supposed to be one of our high potential people. You are going to need to be coached up, which once again, I have been doing all the coaching settings and stuff. Off camera, like the coaching schedule is not the best, but that's because MLS coaching is not the best. But I'll get to that in a minute. I just got to remind myself to do it. So here we go. Gustavo Pofo moving up. Remember, he's in as a striker, so there's De Jong firing it from Alamance County. Y'all don't know what that means, get a map. Also, I'm pretty sure with the direction of the stadium, that's the wrong direction here. So De Jong in there to... Okay, Friedel, that's fine. Rookie to rookie. You love to see it, and that is why we're an MLS team, and the Independents are a very small organization, but still, you don't expect people to make this kind of giant shot from so far out. Welcome to Football Manager 2022, where amazing happens. All right, so 3-0 overall. A good match to beat up the opposition, I guess, and here we go. They are getting a few shots in now that we've taken our subs in. So even overall, Diogo's actually holding his own. He's got good size, and sometimes size can make up for a lot of things that you can't do, because unlike other games where they have physical attributes, size actually does matter in Football Manager. De Jong once again just deciding, you know what, I'm going to put my hands on my face because I am firing everything at the goal. So our expected goals is less than 2. There's Friedel doing Friedel things. Pretty good. Wow. It was good. Should be able to get that ball back. But see, I like the movement now. We've been getting a number of good shots. We've been moving things around pretty nicely. So I just need to remember to set the tactic after this match to everything. But yeah, overall, good start. I wouldn't even care if they scored a goal because we got young players playing. It's going to be famous last words because they're going to get a goal right here, aren't they? Nope. Oh my God, the young goalkeeper just flopped like a fish. Diogo, I enjoyed that energy, but come on, man. And at least also the Charlotte uniforms can be a little bit hard to decipher here. Maybe if I'd started to save a little bit later, we'd know what their actual kits look like. Kits, uniforms, whatever you want to call it. But at least on the match here, the goalie's easy to see because it's green. So overall, very good match. Robbie Robinson saying maybe I shouldn't sign another striker. We're signing another striker. And then I'm going to do what the assistant says here. We did good. The entire goal for these kind of matches, especially early on in friendlies, is to get fitness and to make everybody feel good because morale is the number one attribute in this game. Okay, that may not be entirely true, but morale is incredibly important in this game. If you get good morale, your team can do like things that are otherwise not possible. So I do want to just go and say, good show, everybody. Hopefully we'll get some healthy people soon. Before we move on, though, this is my coaching. Like, literally my physical staff. I love that they call them physios, even though it's in North America, we call them doctors or physical therapists. But yeah, our scouting is better than everybody else. And you saw the ratings for my scouting. My coaching is the highest of everybody else. We'll go over the player comparisons once I've finalized my roster. But yeah, overall, good job. Definitely a good warm-up match. Next one we're going to do, though, we're going to hop on down to Celtic because that's another home match that I'm very curious to see how our team does against kind of a name club from Europe. So we'll dive in there and I'll give you some transfer updates if they come up. All right, so we do have a little bit of transfer news here. First, we have Derek, the ever-present Brazilian of one name, Derek, who has joined us as a 19-year-old center back. It actually did take a pretty big chunk of transfer budget. But the reason I did this is that one of our original signings, Mr. Corujo, who I had high hopes for helping develop here, he got a pretty long-term injury, 2 to 3 months. We sent him to a specialist. So hopefully he will end up being okay. But if we look at our depth chart real quick, let's move it down here for a minute. Derek can kind of slide into here right now because Fuchs is going to be playing on the left. You're injured, so Derek pretty much fits right there. And he's 19. Oh my god. What do we do? Cat tax again. So Cat assistant manager, go. All right, so what do you think is going to happen here? We're going to have a must respond message as well for Ake Loba, which I need to learn how to pronounce that. No fee. We have the rights. He actually asked for a pretty low salary considering everything else. I guess he just wants a chance to shine. So our scouts say he's going to be really good, and he's signing for not a lot. And there's I am trying to put in pretty strong release clauses for these people as well. So Cat's bored now. Bye, Cat. All right. Loba, let's hit that accept button. This was the trade with Nashville where they sent us a bunch of general transfer money or general allocation money. And Loba is now part of the team. And wow, he has the potential to be an MLS star. So that's pretty cool. And if we take a look at him and compare him to Mr. Robbie Robertson, yeah, he compares pretty favorably. He's a little bit stronger right now. Robbie has some better wing attributes because he is also a winger versus Loba being a dedicated striker from the Ivory Coast, but he has much better heading, which is pretty important. He is a little bit shorter and can't jump as well, but when the headers do get there, it kind of does work out. So some of the mental stats, they're kind of a wash. I wish he had a little bit higher determination, but I think between these two, we can make it work. And he's not really making us break the bank. I would not have gotten this good of a player with a first-round draft pick in the MLS Super Draft. So learn English, please. Fuchs, welcome him again. Everybody wants to feel welcomed. Did we welcome him? I hope so. But yeah, we're just going to keep going here into our next match. So a few fun little sightings and a cat sighting. Fun. All right, so here it is. A little bit of time has passed, and now it's Charlotte FC versus Celtic. Yes, the lovely Celtic that is currently one of the better teams in its division and certainly a very famous European squad with a lot of rich history. So expansion team versus not even close. This is what we have for a lineup. I'm trying to go in with kind of my who I think based off of what we have on the team. I'll be going into the starting lineup for the season, but I'll do a little bit more of a roster analysis of this later. We'll have Robinson in the front. Ake Loba, who I also like, may be going there as well, but he did also hit the post an astounding 4 times in the last game. So we're going to give him a sit and let him go in with the second unit. Jordan Morris on the right. He did get a slight groin pull in practice a while ago, so we're going to have some issues there. Lod, who has been not performing too well so far. Hopefully he gets the groove and figures out what he's doing a little bit better. We'll have Ruiz, who's finally back from injury, Merriman over at the box-to-box midfielder, Anunga over in the defensive midfielder. I still think if there's anywhere I need to get talent, it's over here, and maybe a dish when Riley McGree comes over here, we'll be fine. But it's certainly a question mark. And then we have Duncan Kessler, Derek, and Fuchs in the back, and Blackman over here. A lot other than Fuchs, the defense here is going to get better with age. So I'm looking pretty forward to see how that will go. But let's go ahead and dive into the match. Yes, let's do it. So everything is fine. Nothing's not on fire. This is a home game. And we do need to assign other captains and everything. I'll be doing that after this into kind of into everything here. But let's pump fists. Let's get everybody pumped up. It's time for the preseason. We have complacent players here, people who seem to be motivated. I'm going to ask people to give me what it takes because I am a motivational speaker, if nothing else somehow. So let's kick it off and see how we do. So far, the friendlies have been going well, although my second unit has at times outperformed my first unit. So let's see how this goes. As we have Merriman over to Anunga in the start here. And this is the same tactic still. I do typically, after the preseason starts and as we get into the regular season, once the players get familiar with the initial tactic, I like to move into having a secondary tactic here. That one's probably going to be with 2 strikers. Just depending on the roster, because since I have some pretty good strikers on the team and some pretty good frontliners on the team, not so much midfielder, so we may go 4-2-2-2 or whatever you call it. So here's Henderson getting blocked on the free kick. That's nice defense there, team. Good job. So one of the key questions going forward is how are we going to stack up versus a group like this who's established versus us? It's maybe not so much. So far, we haven't gotten any shots, so we may need to think about it, but it's early, but certainly not good when you pass into the white shirt. I mean, you should be able to tell who's who. But hey, we're young, we're inexperienced, and this is really, at the end of the day, just us trying to sort of get the idea here. I'm actually going to go from positive to more attacking, because if you've seen here so far, we haven't had a lot of possession. We keep getting the ball taken away from people like Shaw. So I may need to work on some of this. And this is what I'm saying, is that if I keep losing the ball in the midfield like this, it's going to be really hard to get these attacks to go forward. And I know what I said in the last episode. I think I can push early for or go pretty far with this team, even in the first season, with just building up stuff. And when I say that, I'm thinking I could possibly have a playoff squad. But there's still some roster building to be done. And unfortunately, we've gone through a lot of money this year, and a lot of people have turned down my request to sign them or have signed with other people. And it's not that I'm trying to shoot farther than I can. They just sign with other MLS teams. So what that means is we're going to get who we get eventually. Let's see here. We're at 30 minutes in, 1 shot on goal. Something needs to change. We've already gone attacking here. Let's go more direct, and let's people be more let them be more creative, and let's stop working the ball into the box. Maybe that'll get some things moving here, because right now Robinson's not doing very good. Lod is still crapping the bed. Maybe I got to do something with his position to get him a little bit more in line, because he has stats for days, and so far has not really been doing anything. In fact, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do this real quick. Tactics. If we take a look at Lod, unfortunately, I don't think we can see the star rating for things here. If we just move him to a support winger, that may be better. I mean, we could do a support inverted winger. Let's try that. Inverted winger and then winger. Automatic with Fuchs means that he'll go up and attack. So we have sort of these things working back and forth. We'll see how it works. Like I said, I've read some rumblings that inside forwards do not exactly work like they usually do in Football Manager, at least with the current iteration of the match engine. So that'll be a shame, because I usually have one inside forward. But there's the defense, barely holding on. Still counts as holding on, and we have 1 shot to 6. So we're not quite there yet, and now we're passing really out of our brains here. So Kessler's struggling, our defense is struggling, Fuchs is struggling. Pretty much we're getting schooled right now, which is kind of the point. You bring a team like Celtic over here not to give you the feel goods, but to let you know that, hey, maybe beating Charleston with 3 goals in the last 10 minutes is not going to get you anywhere in MLS. So here we go. Team analysis. We struggled to make into the attack from the central area here. Robin Lod is having a bad time, and I know it's a friendly, but we've gotta get more from him. This is just terrible. So he's a star player. He's my first pick in the waiver draft, and he doesn't mind being an inverted winger. All right. Gotta think about it. Let's go over here and just say, I like what I'm seeing. Do I like what I'm seeing though? You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna try this. Show me something better in the second half. A lot of players have been underperforming. I could do individual talks here, but Robbie, you've kind of been a problem too. So let's give him a little bit. See if the team talks actually make some progress here. Sometimes you just need a little bit of motivation. There's a pass into nothing. Now I got to do some load management for some of my players, but my old superstition, never do tactical changes when it's a highlight that starts with my own players. Of course, this could just turn into something where Barkas goes over our entire defense. And he's certainly going to try. There we go. Duncan doing good. And there's Robinson, unmotivated as he is. I'm going to go ahead and sub him out. We need to get some fresh legs in there. So maybe that'll be good. You're starting to get pretty tired, which sucks because Morris is another super talented player, but it's not worth getting injured here. So we'll put in the rookie wingers. Well, we'll keep Lawton just a little bit longer. He hasn't picked up his stuff. It says he's playing okay. Ugh. All right. Let's see what else we can do. So confirm sub. I'm keeping Ruiz in. That's a little bit of a risk because he's also Sergio Ruiz because he's coming back from injury too. But I want to see what we can do here and see. There we go. I subbed out my people and now we are. Well, I mean, we're 0-0, but that may not last. I said now that we're bringing in some of our second line, I'm not so concerned if they score. Of course, if they hit it clear over the goal, that's fine. So, okay, tactics, instructions. So they're trying to go over our heads now, which means that we need to back up this defensive line. Maybe backing this up a little bit as well will be good. And let's stop using offside trap because clearly it's not working and it's letting them just get us out of position. So we'll try to stop the fast break here. Okay, and that was saved barely. I don't think my Brazilian young kid could have done that. So we'll see this. Oh my God, Lod. I am actually going to have a talk about a friendly and say, what the hell are you doing, sir? And yeah, let's get him out of here. That is, that's garbage. That's literally, you're costing me so much money to play like shit. So that's okay. Let's get the rookie in there. If I could actually swing this over here. And we'll put Fisher on here for Fuchs, who's also not doing very good. So this is nice when you have your high impact players that you expect to actually do their job and do their job well, not pulling their weight. Ruiz and Miramon, okay, we have Bronico and Cirillo, and I'm not sure who likes to be aware better, so we're going to do that. And let's put Diogo in there as well. So at least Kyle Duncan was having a good game. So let's go out here. Let's pump our fists. And we're just going to go and make everybody composed, feel a little bit better, get our whole group in here for the last few minutes. And sometimes this second group is what needs, at least we got a few more shots and our shots are going on target. The tactic's doing what it's supposed to, but if stuff isn't working on one of the sides, that's a problem. There we go. Fisher bringing it into Bronico. Back to Fisher to La Grassa, and we're taking it the wrong way. Holt. No. Depoy. You're about to lose the ball. And some of this is lack of tactical familiarity as well, so it's a little bit of a problem. Nowinski over, and we're just settling for the long shots here. Did I turn off work the ball into the box? Because I think I may need to turn it back on at this point. Okay, we got a good potential cross here. Okay, let's see if we can do anything with the corner. I still haven't set up my set piece tactics. I want to get through the last part of this preseason like this game, and I think I'll work it in before we start the season next episode. So if we end up 0-0, that at least means that we're not totally garbage. So, I mean, expansion team, not totally garbage. That's a plus. If we do concede a goal here now, it's our backups. So I'm not too concerned. Ugh, all right. I mean, I'd love to hold on, but because we are at home, and nothing says sell soccer to the city of Charlotte like a 0-0 tie. But, I mean, you never know. If we have people here not filling up the stands, it could very well be that this is the dedicated bunch that would love a defensive performance like this. And then to say, what are you doing, Mr. Laud? Why are you making so much money and doing so little? Like that, if it was a regular season game, that would be an immediate 1 week fine, 5.9. And maybe I'm a mean manager for that, but that's how it is. All right, last seconds. I think this is going to be a 0-0. Or, there we go. Pass it back. Well, we at least preserve the tie, or we're going to get a really terrible own goal here in a second. There we go. It's full time here. All right. I'm not super happy, but I'm not super upset either. So I'm just going to do what my assistant says to do and just say, games like that are about the result. I'm pleased with the progress. That's good enough for me to say, because that's going to get a positive reaction. But I am going to go up to Mr. Laud, because you can't do individual talks here, and point finger. And that was not good enough. Well, he didn't have a negative reaction, but we're going to have a little chat. But sometimes you got to establish dominance and do it in front of the team. Oh, LaGrassa got injured. Ooh, okay, well, that's depth, which sucks a little bit, but let's go ahead and go over here, go back to the squad real quick. And yeah, this is, let's sort it by money, just so it's really easy to find Mr. Laud here. And interaction, discipline flare for 4 performance. It's warning time. It's just a friendly, but this is the kind of friendly where you need to show up. So we're just going to hit the continue button. And he's accepted his warning without comment. So that may make him do better later. I want to sort of reevaluate that game and say he should be doing good. For all I know, Fuchs is not doing too good on the left side. He didn't have a good game either. Their defense may have bottled him up completely. Hard to say, but his match sharpness is getting better. I expect more from him. And I really should. So that's it for now. Next time we're going to be going into the regular season. As you can see, we're close. That is the only tie I've had in my friendlies. I have one more friendly against Cesar Vallejo. I think it's Vallejo or Vallejo. It just depends on where it is. But yeah, so far a few friendlies. I play more friendlies than other people, but that's just to try to get tactical familiarity and match friendliness here. But we're going to start off with Montreal, Club Football Montreal, because that's what all the new teams are doing, CLTFC. And then the New York Red Bulls, which will be our home opener. Those will be our focus matches next time. This is Football Manager with Asher, and preseason's done. We're going to have maybe a few more people come in, and hopefully we can have more stuff like this. And if we can get a 0-0 against some of the better teams, I mean, I can't complain too much. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. See you next time. Take care.